Good morning from our first port of call in Iceland. Here's your first look at Akureyri as the Caribbean Princess is making her turn to dock. Continually amazed when you show up someplace new. Didn't know what to expect, but very fascinating. We've come up a fjord. What you expect from a fjord. A little foggy, a little damp, a little rainy. I mean, I guess all fjords aren't damp and rainy and foggy. Sometimes they're sunny. Already struck with the idea that travel is amazing. Another new image for my head and another new place to explore. So join me as we venture out into Iceland for the very first time. Wow. So it's about 10 of 9 here in Akureyri. We're not clear to get off the ship yet, but our day is supposed to start at 9 for the ship. And then I do have this excursion today to Godafoss, the botanical gardens, the Godafoss Folk Museum, and then that's don't meet until 1:10. So I've got a couple hours to kill during the destination presentation, which I always advocate going to. They mentioned there's a church up on the hill, pretty modern design looking church, but the cool thing is that it overlooks the port, so you get some cool ship views. And then they have a church that's designed by the same designer in a couple days in Reykjavik. And so maybe, I don't know, it's just kind of wet and rainy, but I'm gonna get changed and we'll go out there and see if we can, I'll show you the church from the balcony. Give you some idea where we'll start the day. There it is up on the hill. Let's see if we can zoom it in a little bit. Yeah, see this modern looking church here. So I think we can make our way up from the cruise port so that we can get a different vantage of the cruise ship. I think that's a good loose plan. The 1:10 for the excursion, I have to be on the ship in a dining room. So yeah, we'll excursion on our own a bit and then we'll come back for the organized excursion. All right, I have acquired my buddy Don and we're heading down to deck 1 to get off the ship and do a little exploration. I think I said deck 1, but I meant the furthest lower deck, which the lowest one you can go to on the elevator is deck 4. But I kind of think that this is the spot. It's the warning. Caribbean Princess will be sailing for Iceland.
I lost you.
6:30 p.m. All crew back on board at 6 p.m. So gotta be mindful. Alright, so here we are in Akureyri, Iceland. We're on the streets, and it's not really as cold as you would think it would be. Got a little light jacket on. Right outside the port we have this Icewear Iceland, so I guess if you did forget to bring clothing, you can pop in right there and get yourself a warm jacket or a hat. And I would be remiss if we did not take a full accounting of what the Caribbean Princess looks like here in Iceland for her very first stop. She's been here before. I'm just so fascinated by everything. I don't know what to look at first. Here's a map of the town. I think we're gonna try to go to number 11, which is the church. We are here, and the church is here. So it looks like we can just mosey up the waterfront. There's a lot of stuff to do here though. Botanical gardens. There's actually a warm swimming pool here. A lot of cool stuff. We're going to start our walk along the waterway here, but I want to show you real quick that to the right of the exit of the port, you do have transportation. So we have tour buses picking up over there, and then there's independent tours also. So a lot of folks willing to sell you a tour. And then, oh, it looks like we do have another cruise ship. I just see the top, but a smaller cruise ship. So hopefully when we get to the higher vantage point, we'll be able to tell what it is. And then the church that we're trying to get to is just across the way. It doesn't look like it's elevated that much, but I've seen some of the pictures from that church. I feel like maybe the distance is deceptive. So we'll have to see what it looks like. Oh, this place is spectacular. It does, of course, you know, it's all relative, but very similar to what some of the towns in Alaska feel like, because, you know, you're still based on that whole traveling into a fjord, to the mouth of fjord, finding a town. So you're surrounded by mountainous regions, and we are up north, so it's got that same kind of vibe. Well, look at this. It does seem like this is a little pathway begging for a look at the cruise ship from this vantage point. Are we ready? Are we ready? Oh yeah! The mighty Caribbean Princess and the throngs of people coming this way. It's kind of funny, there's like so much to look at and film and photograph. We've barely gotten away from the cruise ship, but we do have to be mindful that we have to be back on board in our meeting place for our excursion by 1:10. So yeah, quick exploration of the town. So a couple cool things going on here. Of course, you got the Caribbean Princess, and then there's this puppy in the water, big dog in the water. I've never seen a dog so happy to swim. He started off chasing some ducks. Now he's just he's living his best life ever, just swimming. And then you have this awesome looking statue. Of course, this is a big spot for whale watching. There's a whale watching museum here, and very cool whale tail. This dog, look how excited this dog is. So cool. It does seem like that every few hundred yards there are little pockets of people selling individual tours. We've been offered a tour to go whale watching and a tour to the Godafoss, which is the waterfall of the gods, but that's included in our excursion later, so we'll get to see that. Kind of stoked to see the waterfall of the gods. But oh yeah, look, we have a bus here that's going to Reykjavik. Take a bus to Reykjavik, or you could take a cruise ship to Reykjavik. We're gonna take a cruise ship. We'll be there in a couple days. Like I said, those destination talks are pretty helpful. I've already found one of the landmarks that the presenter told us about that has public restrooms, so this might be helpful to somebody. This is the Hof, and it's not, I don't think it has anything to do with David Hasselhoff, so you could mess with this Hof, but don't mess with the Hof. But the Hof here has, I believe it has public restrooms and a cafe. We can pop in real quick. The church is just up on the hill, so we're getting close. All right, let's take a quick peek in the Hof. So right when you pop in, you have all this tourist information. There's a little bit of a gift shop, again with lots of coats and jackets in case you forgot yours. And there are restroom facilities here. And I think, yeah, this is starting to make sense. It is also a little bit of an art installation. So you can see some local art. And they do have a cafe here. And in addition to all that, it's just a cool looking building. Like I said, this is a Hof you can mess with. Oh, look at this. Way up on the top there. Looks like a sculpture of a fiddle player. This is properly cool. Grab a visitor's guide here. Free copy. It's cool. Looks like they got some free guidebooks here. Alright, back on the streets. I think
we're gonna have to walk inward, yeah.
This way, I think, to get up to the church. It's pretty wild. It's like every time you go somewhere new, you start going, okay, is there food that we recognize? Are there stores? Haven't seen any like traditional fast food, which is, you know, sometimes that is the marker, the thing that seems to be able to make its way all around the world. But we have seen some cuisine, seen some Chinese cuisine, and we just wandered up upon a movie theater. Don's gonna skip the afternoon tour and see Wolverine and Deadpool, which is a good movie. And there's also little food trucks starting to gather here in this little square or circle. This looks like one of those spots that really gets popping as the day goes on later. Got a bar over here. Got an Indian curry house. City Square Apartments. Oh look, it's Don's Donuts.
Oh man.
Don, I didn't know. So I didn't think I would be one of the first cruise news cruise tubers to break this news, but big announcement coming today right now from Don Terrace. Do you have something to tell us?
I am. I've decided I'm going to give up YouTube altogether and traveling and my travel agency that I've worked hard all this years to do, because I'm opening a donut shop. So if you're ever in Iceland, stop by and say hi to Don at Don's Donut Shop and come say hi. I might not be here, but that's my donut shop.
Let me ask the obvious question. How much experience do you have in the donut business?
Only eating.
Okay.
Only eating. I'm very experienced at eating donuts.
Is that enough for Don to have a successful business? Just the ability to eat donuts? We'll come back in a couple years and see how he's doing. Don, on the YouTube space, you will be missed. Looks like we got a great photo op. Of course, you have this amazing mural behind us of the young girl on the whole side of the building, and then I'm assuming that this actually frames that. Oh yeah, wow, that's pretty amazing. This kind of looks like one of those areas where cars are not allowed, or people are just very aggressive in the streets. Now I think this is a pedestrian walkway, and well, one question has been answered. Do they have chains here? Yes, this Icewear Iceland, that's the same store that we saw by the port, so I would say that's a chain. And look at this little outdoor slide just randomly in the mix. Oh, and I've heard from several people that you got to try an Icelandic hot dog. What is this? Maybe on the way back from the church. But let's see what's how they're laid out here. Wow, look at this. Hot dog with a fried egg. Wow. Icelandic hot dog. Hot dog shop is already open, so this might be the spot. We might have to check it out on the way back. So we just passed a creperie, and there's a kebab house over here. Another Icewear shop. So we think this is absolutely the spot on the streets for the tourist. I don't have any first-hand knowledge of the reputation of this spot, but it does look like there's a pharmacy fairly close to the cruise ship for those that need that kind of thing. All right, I think I've just wandered into the perfect duo of stores for me, and they're both cool looking. Let me show you this. First, you have this huge blue cafe. I love the spires on this building. So coffee and cakes. And then almost directly Across from it is this Hinen Edmjensen. I know I'm just butchering the Icelandic, apologies. But a nice bookstore with tables, and so I would assume there's a cafe in there. It's almost like the perfect vortex for book nerds. Book nerds unite! And there's a peak back down the road we just traveled. And as we go forward, there's another Akureyri photo op. This time you have a big heart. People making their way up there. Get a photograph made. Oh, and here it is. We've that's how easy it is. I can see the stairs. The stairs of the Church of Akureyri. Now, I called this a modern church, but the designer actually lived in the late 1800s into the mid 1900s. So the design of this church happened sometimes in the early 1900s, but the completion of this church, I think, was maybe around 1930. But again, there's a sister to this church in Reykjavik, and the designer, his last name's Samuelsson. But yeah, we'll go up there just to get the shot of the ship. And apparently there's a crazy pipe organ in there too, so we'll check it out. Now, fortunately, the destination expert did warn that you do have to take on an incline to get to the top of the church. Looks like they have a stairwell that's being renovated or under construction, or I don't know, maybe it had trouble. You could see some cracks in the foundation over there, so we will slowly ascend this hill. I guess to distract us from the uphill climb, we do have this nice painted sidewalk. Not sure what kind of building this is in front of. Maybe a museum? That's certain. Oh yeah, here we go. Akureyri Art Museum. And a proper cafe there. And Kately House. We're doing this hill ascension in the style of Spike Island. Make sure you go check that video out from a few days earlier in our cruise. But very smartly, the tour guide, when she was taking us up these huge hills, she would stop along the way and give us history. I don't really know any history about the art museum, but I'll just say that there's art in there, painted by people from Iceland. Looks really cool. And okay, I don't really know any history about the art museum, but a good spot to take a breath. Interesting little thought-provoking piece of art outside the art museum. Free brainwash. What does it mean? How do we interpret it? What are they saying? Excitingly, we're getting somewhere to the top of the hill, and it looks like we'll be able to cross the street to get to the church. And cross the street we have. One final turn. And here we are, back on flat ground. Oh, look. There she is. The Caribbean Princess. And another small ship. I don't know what ship that is. Whew. Top of the world, y'all. It's a beautiful church. Get the twin spires and the Celtic cross up there. The wooden door at the back. And there's a peek at the Caribbean Princess from the vantage point of the church.
It's only open till 3 p.m.
Sadly, it looks like they're having a funeral service at the church today, so I think we're going to bug out. Let them do their thing. Alright, so you can tell that the town does climb up a little further, but I think we are going to start making our way back to the cruise ship, so we've got a little time to prepare for our excursion, and maybe time for a hot dog. I don't know. Not sure where that goes, but there's another rainbowed stairwell. Could be another museum up on the hill. Of course, the nice aspect of the old adage, what goes up must go down. We have a nice downhill walk. It's still a little steep though, so be careful on these terrains. Here's a look at the stairwell construction for the church. This thing probably is pretty fantastic when you can actually ascend all the way to the church. by stair. I mean, it'd be a massive climb, but probably cool at the same time. And then, like most cities, it does look like they have some rental electric scooters that you could use to get around, which is cool. And just like that, we're back to that street that had all the tourist stuff. I guess there's options here. You can certainly go down that street, or you could continue to go forward, which looks like there would be a walk along the waterfront, but I think we're gonna cut back across and walk back down to where the hot dog stand is. That's interesting. The young man just discovered that the heart actually rotates, so you can get whatever picture you want, which is cool. All right, here's a look at the temperature. It certainly is cloudy, but 51 is pretty manageable. Don just popped into the souvenir store. We'll have to see what he finds, if anything. Something I haven't really thought about before, but on semi-damp, rainy days like this, I think a good thing to do would be maybe pack in your little bag a washcloth or a hand towel or something. That way you could just, you know, these aren't super damp, but if you had a little cloth, you could dry them off. What did it look like for souvenirs, Don?
It has books, soap, puffins, luggage, coats, books, you name it, it's got it in that little store.
Nice. It is attached to the bookstore, and it does look like that symbol there says they have Wi-Fi and coffee.
Yeah.
So,
you even sell furniture. So, it's a big store here.
Yeah. I'm hoping to pick up my magnet at the waterfall of the gods today. I think that would be epic, the Godafoss, but I don't know. We'll see if there's any other souvenirs along the way. Oh, and we are back at a ye old hot dog shop. So let's see what we got. I didn't see this on the way up. Volcanic dog. What? A local Akureyri hot dog. I think we probably got to try that. All right, here's the official lineup. We have a tuna dog down there. These are some wild-looking dogs. I went with the volcanic dog. Even have waffles here. Vegan and vegetarian and pescatarian. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Oh, look at this. Wow. All right, let's try it. All right, here we go. This is the volcanic dog. Pleasing. There was a lot going on there. There were jalapenos and onions and crispy things, and the hot dog had a real snappy casing. The bun was great. I think that was just for show, but it was delicious. Didn't really notice this as we passed the playground before, but there's this just the tiniest little sculpture garden. We have these interesting sculptures on these pillars here. Oh my gosh, is that Michelangelo's David next to this small skull? Oh, no. It's Ottawa's Dawn.
Same body.
Ottawa's Dawn.
Hang on, I'll do this.
Whoa, what are you doing?
I'll do this.
No, I don't think you can take that off here. Oh, wait.
I just did this.
There you go. There's the pose. Interesting, we've covered a few blocks here in town, but we haven't really seen like a traditional kind of convenience store with snacks and stuff, so we're trying to put our hands on some Icelandic snacks, but we may have to consult Uncle Google to figure out if there's something near us. Alright, so good old Google has found a gas station for us. It says it's 3 minutes away and it's back toward the cruise ship, so yeah, let's go see if we can find snacks. So we think that's the building that Google was pointing us toward. There was a gas pump out front, but no snacks, so we're back at the Hoff. See if we can find something on this side of the street. I did notice this notice board here. Odorin District, or Odori District. Lots of good information that you can pick up just on the street with these notice boards. Sadly, none of the notice boards are referencing snacks. So our mission continues. We jumped across the street from the Hoff because it looks like a little sidewalk street here. Like, I just caught another glimpse of the Caribbean Princess here in port. Can we appreciate this for a second? So starting over here, look how majestic this ship looks with that mountain behind it. It almost, you almost can't even tell she's sat on a body of water. Wow. Holy moly. It's that cruise life, baby. Nothing better. Obviously, this guy knew the hack about bringing a little towel with... Oh, wait. That's not a real person. All right, still no convenience store, but this may be the best vantage point we've had to look at the Caribbean Princess all day, so check this out. So this was my first Princess cruise ship. This was Don's first Princess cruise ship when he started making YouTube videos. Is this one of your favorite Princess cruise ships, Don?
It is. Probably more sentimental than actual design.
Yeah.
Because she is getting a little older now. Doesn't have everything that the Royal class has on it. Like the Princess Live is a bar here. But it still holds a place in my heart. Yeah, she's been good to us. She's been good to us. So it's just now 11 a.m. So we did that full walk and back within 2 hours. We still have a couple hours before our excursion, so we're gonna make our way back onto the Caribbean Princess, and we'll pick it up from there.